Hey folks, my name is Ravish and welcome back to another video in the series of DevOps Interviews. Now, I have a profile with me. So this person is around 5 years of experience and he has worked around 2+ years in DevOps and cloud, and cloud is almost equal to 3 years. And then there is very great thing about today's interview is that I have divided into 3 parts. So the first part is like very small. We are going to talk about the basic roles and responsibility that the person have, and then we are going to talk about the Jenkins. So this is very detailed interview on Jenkins. That would be the second part, and then it will take around 20 to 25 minutes, and we'll be talking about a lot of things in that. And after that we'll be moving to AWS, and then Cloudformation is something that we picked for today. And then the person has good knowledge on Cloudformation, so around 10 to 15 minutes I have spent over there. And the third part, we will be talking about the coding part, a bit of scripting part, and he'll be on screen sharing. Now, interesting part is that in the second part he'll be sharing his screen and we'll be asking questions on the basis of the script that he wrote in Cloudformation, and that would be very much interactive session. And I'll be sharing the screen so you can just take a look at that point of time. It's around 40-45 minutes of after the interview, and after that I have asked him a question that I want him to write in shell scripting, but he chose Python, so we'll be talking about that very basic question. And one more thing, that as a DevOps you need to know scripting, any kind of scripting, shell scripting, PowerShell, Bash, Batch, anything. So you need to know at least basic programs for that. So at the end of this interview I'd be posting the links of all those questions that I have prepared for DevOps, like Python interview question for DevOps, like around 20 to 30 questions are there. You can go through them and go through those basic scripts, that what is the logic over here, and that would be very much beneficial for you in the interviews. All right, so that would be the today's interview. Anyway, so again I would like to reiterate that if you're new over here, please subscribe the channel, because I put a lot of effort in creating these videos for cloud and DevOps related stuff. Kindly subscribe the channel because it really motivates me to create more content like this. So without further ado, let's get started.
I have 5 years experience in IT environment, so English is not my mother language, so there is some phrasal verbs or some difficulty to express my ideas in English, but I consider my English intermediate, so I hope this is not an stopper. So, well,
It's fine. Even English is not my first language.
yeah,
It's my second
okay.
second language, but I
Yeah.
know a few languages, so yeah.
Well, I was working at least 5 or 6 years in IT environment. I have at first I was a Java developer. Yeah, at least 2 or 3 years. Then I started a course of AWS infrastructure. Then I got my first certifications after a few months, and as of now I have a few certifications of AWS, and I have 3 years, I guess, about AWS experience. I mean, in the cloud, and I guess that's it.
Okay, so total experience is 5+ years and 3 years of experience in cloud, which is AWS, and
Yes.
in DevOps.
Well, I 2 or 3 years.
Okay, let's say 2+ years.
Okay.
Okay. Can you explain the roles and responsibilities that you face on a daily basis? What you do, what kind of issues that you face? Daily roles and responsibilities.
In my current job.
Yes.
Okay. Well, Uh, as of now, I'm working as a DevOps engineer. So we are working in a project that is that consists in a legacy and a cloud product. So we are working as of two roles mainly. Um, we are working as a support engineer and sometimes as a DevOps engineer. When we have to help um, other areas of the company, we have to um, um, let me let me think about this. But we are uh, we are in charge of helping developers write uh, some tools and scripts to automate some kind of daily tasks for them. For example, we are working in a Jenkins environment. Yeah, they have version control in Bitbucket. They have the code. They are working uh, in a feature request. No. This is not the case. They are working in a I don't remember exactly the the branching strategy, but they are working in the code in Bitbucket. They release changes every 3 or 4 weeks, I guess, and we are in charge in monitor and check the daily builds to the environment. So if there is any problem, any issue in the pipeline, in the complete pipeline, okay, we are going to help. We are ready to help them. So uh, uh, in other words, or in simple words, we are responsible for the complete pipeline from the code, okay, that they build until they pass to the staging environment. And also, when we work as a support engineer, we are uh, we're in charge of, for example, doing some troubleshooting to help them find any any issues of the software. That's it. For example, if the legacy software uh, has some issues, or there is any related problem to the host operating systems. For example, if it is a legacy issue, we have to connect to the customer environment with some credentials, the VPN, and start troubleshooting, debugging. It's a Java application, so we have a Wildfly application server. There is a web server, and we have to monitor, review, and monitor the logs, the metrics, and if there is a cloud issue, we have to connect to the current environment and work with another areas to check if there is an issue in the cloud. You mean we don't have access to the cloud in this case because it's GCP, but they are there is another team that provides the access to the environment.
Okay, okay. So you folks are using Jenkins, right?
Yeah. Well,
Okay, okay. So let's start with Jenkins only. What do you understand by continuous integration, continuous deployment, and continuous delivery?
okay. Well, But for continuous integration and continuous delivery, I understand that there is a pipeline that um, that there is some steps, okay, to uh, uh, sorry, it's hard to explain with this with English. So, for example, we have uh, as how do you say this? There is an automated, okay, pipeline for releasing the code to the staging system, okay. But for example, there is an manual approval for the pass these changes to an application environment. So there is the difference between continuous integration and continuous delivery. To deliver the codes that developers pass every certain amount of time, we have to or we have an automated pipeline that that build this code, pass some automated tests, and then deploys this code into into an staging environment. That is the process of this that runs automatically. But for continuous delivery, we have a manual approval for do this, and there is uh, there is certain people that are responsible for approval. So there is no automatic, passing these codes to a production or higher environments.
Okay. Okay. So when you talk about Jenkins, do you know how you can copy or move Jenkins from one server to another if there is a need of migration or something?
Sorry, I didn't understand the question.
Okay. Consider a scenario in which there is one server, okay, and you have installed Jenkins in it. Okay. Now everything is working fine, but because of some reason or maybe because of scaling reasons, you have to pick everything from one server and push it to the other server of Jenkins. How can you do that?
Okay, well, we have passed this in a few months ago, but I know that, for example, in this case, we have the Jenkins environment in an EC2 instance running in AWS. Okay, so one of the first things that we thought about is taking a snapshot of the instance, okay, and copying to another instance. So that is the first option. So, making a snapshot of the virtual machine, the virtual instance. But there is a plugin. I don't know exactly the name now, but the plugin lets you make a snapshot, store it in the cloud, and then when you install Jenkins in a fresh virtual machine, they can recover that snapshot that is stored in the cloud environment. I don't remember the plugin name, and then it can restore the entire configurations and the entire data.
Okay. Do you know how to create a master slave architecture uh, in Jenkins?
Okay, we didn't try that, but I know there is an option to have a master and a slaves uh, um, instance of Jenkins. So the flow is distributed across the slaves instance. But I didn't configure that. Just read it about that.
Okay, but why do I need this master slave architecture? Would
Because in sometimes we have so many pipelines running at the same time, and the virtual machine could have some, for example, issues of the I don't know, memory issues, CPU issues, and so you need to distribute that load in some other instances. So that's the case if you need a master and a slave approach.
Okay, when you set up a agent or a slave, you look for executors. You fill the executors. Do you know what is executor? Number of executors?
Uh, Sorry, I didn't understand that question.
Okay, when you set up, do you know how to set up a master slave architecture?
I didn't try that, but I know that the configuration requires that there is there is an agent that runs in every virtual machine that executes the pipelines. So this agent is connected to the master machine.
Okay, so when we create a node, it asks for a number of executors. So if you have any information about that, then it's fine. Otherwise, it's also fine.
Okay, I didn't configure that in this case.
Okay, okay, no problem, no problem. Um, so what kind of jobs have you created? Is it a declarative or scripted pipeline or something? Normal job or something? What have you done?
Uh, I there is a two ways, but for this case, there is an script pipeline. For example, we did write the code to clone the GitHub repo, or in this case the Bitbucket repo. Okay, and we provide the steps there, and also we have used the GUI of Jenkins. Okay, but I guess we use the both the GUI environment and the script pipeline, just to make sure. For example, when we need to add some custom configuration to the script, we create or we add some custom, for example, environment variables on, or other related things to the pipeline.
Okay, okay. So do you have multi-branch pipelines created in that?
Yeah, yeah.
Can you explain
They
me
have,
what exactly is multi-branch pipeline?
yeah. Uh, in this case, we have a separate pipeline for every branch. So, for example, we have a branch called develop. Okay, uh, and there is some specific pipeline for this, and there is another branch called staging, and there is another called uh, UAT, and there is another for production. So when we have in this case some commits to the master, or no, for non-master branch, for example, we have how do you say this, uh, a unique pipeline for every branch. Okay, so if we have for example 4 branches, we have 4 pipelines for one pipeline for one branch. So we didn't have the need to have a multi-branch pipeline in this case to just to configure. So because every pipeline is different in the stages, because that is the current need of the customer or of the client in this case.
Okay, so like why do I even need multi-branch pipeline if that's possible in other pipelines?
Okay, that would be possible if we have the same steps for the complete product. For example, if we can apply the same steps for every branch, we can declare or we can have the same pipeline in this case. So maybe there is some custom configuration to a production branch, for example, but that would be the case.
Okay, okay. Um, so how do you pass parameters in Jenkins?
We pass parameters using environment
Yeah.
variables.
So like
That
a build can take several inputs, right, to
yeah.
execute. So how do you do that?
Okay. Uh, we are taking these parameters as for example, we are using in this case, some of the parameters are passed as a as environment variables. That is what you mean?
Sorry,
As a did you say as passing parameters?
passing parameters. Yes.
As
When you build the pipeline, right? So there is an option that you can select.
yeah, yeah.
Hmm. So I'm asking about that. So when you can pass the parameters and then it can work for you. How do you do that?
Okay. Well, we are passing some parameters in this Jenkins pipeline, but we are passing this as environment variable. So we use the in this case the script and
Hmm.
have the parameters passed to this way, using this way in this case.
See, whenever you run the pipeline, right, there is an input. So you can click over there and then it comes down, drop down, and there are few things that selected. That's what I'm asking.
Ah, okay, okay. So sorry. But that's okay. We are passing that parameters in this case from uh, from this case there is in Jenkins in some way that this is called the parameters stored when you save the for example, if you if you want to pass a secret, for example, there is a way to pass and store this in Jenkins. But in this case, the all the parameters are referenced by a variable name or an ID in this case. But as I mentioned earlier, there is a configuration part in the script that we load the environment variables to load some other parameters. So there is the two ways, but for Jenkins, it's then.
Okay. Okay. So last question on Jenkins. What do you understand by a trigger?
Well,
And
A trigger.
Trigger, yes. And if there is an example that you can give, that would be great.
Okay. Well, in this case, for example, if we make an, for example, a pull request, or there is a commit directly to some branch, that could be a trigger.
Okay, so like how do you do that? How do you set up in such a way that trigger can work?
Okay, we can configure that part in the configuration GUI in Jenkins. Okay, we can associate that kind of triggers uh, um, in when you select the the stages in Jenkins, you select that kinds of triggers.
Okay, okay. So you have worked on AWS a lot, right? So what are all the services that you have worked on in AWS?
Uh, well, I have. Do you need a list of them?
A
Because
few. That
uh,
my question will be based on that. So which in which you are much more confident. I'll be asking question on that.
okay, okay. For example, I've worked with CloudFormation, EC2.
Cloud formation. Okay.
Is
Okay.
okay.
That's all.
No, no. Sorry, sorry. There is a lot of services, but maybe you can ask, and maybe I can tell you if I work with
Okay.
that.
So as you said that AWS Cloud Formation and EC2 instances, I'll concentrating on that first. Okay.
Okay, okay. No, no.
Okay. Let's start with the Cloud Formation. Okay. So why should I use Cloud Formation? Why not other things like Pulumi, Terraform, which is very famous, platform agnostic? Why should I use Cloud Formation?
Well, CloudFormation is more related to AWS environment, and I know that there are certain list of services that aren't available in Pulumi, in Terraform. Okay, uh, that would be the first. The second would be there are some kind of tools, for example, the CFN init script to add some scripting in AWS, and custom hooks that you can use to communicate if the script in the resources, for example, if an EC2 runs and script correctly, they can communicate the result of the script to the CloudFormation status. That will be the second. So if you have, or if you are using completely AWS for your environment, so it would be recommended to use CloudFormation, because there is how do you say this? Um, there is well connected to the other services. So, but if you have a multi-cloud environment, so I guess the CloudFormation would be not a good choice.
Okay. Um, how can you create and delete the stacks in using CloudFormation of AWS?
Sorry, I didn't understand that
So
question.
when you create the infrastructure, right, in AWS
Yeah,
using CloudFormation,
okay.
how do you do that?
I create the stack.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking. So how do you create these stacks and how do you delete these stacks?
Oh, okay. Well, the first option would be the management console. Okay. The second option would be the AWS CLI, and the third option would be the SDK.
Okay. So you directly push them or you upload them through a GUI?
Uh, I have two options to do that. Maybe we can store the CloudFormation template in an S3. Is sorry for the name of the services are in Spanish, but the we can store the S3 template. Sorry. We can store the template in an EC3 bucket, okay? Or maybe we can use, for example, the SAM framework. Okay, we work in a local folder, and then the SAM framework can store temporarily this in a temporary bucket, and then deploys the CloudFormation template.
Okay. Have you ever faced a situation in which you are creating a resource A and then you are creating a resource B? So for some reason, resource A is dependent on resource B and B is dependent on resource A. Have you ever faced this kind of situation?
Yeah, that is a circular redundant. Yeah, yeah.
Circular dependency. So why does it happen and how do you resolve it?
Okay. For example, I have faced a few months ago. Okay, because for example, when you reference, for example, I had, if I remember well. Okay, I was creating a bucket, okay, and I was creating, I guess, a role, okay, and maybe an easy to, but the circular dependency occurs, for example, if I am if I am creating, for example, a bucket name, no, I don't know, hello world, okay, and we reference that name in the role, for example, in the role, yeah, in the role. So and then we attach that role to the S3 S3 bucket, okay, then we have there a circular dependency, because uh, if we have for example, when we create a bucket, we need the role in this case to access. For example, if the AC2 can access via an EM role attached to the instance. So there is there is needed the name. So we can remove that dependency if we can, for example, pass the name of the role, or the name of the S3 bucket in a parameter. Okay, that way we can avoid that circular dependency.
But how did you resolve it? Sorry.
Passing the name in a parameter, and using that parameter in the S3 bucket and the S3 role, because I was trying to reference the resource in the S3 bucket and in the and the EM role as a name. So when CloudFormation was trying to create the bucket, where the CloudFormation was working or was searching the name of the role, I mean. So there is the circular dependency, and the resolution was using a parameter.
Okay. 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 So there is a keyword known as depends on. Have you heard about it in CloudFormation?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So did you use that or just pass the parameter?
Yeah, pass the parameter, because in this case I didn't have to use the depends on.
Hmm. So like at runtime you were passing or passing through some kind of script?
Do you mean the solution? This is at runtime because this was an stage template.
Okay. So do you understand what is a so you are creating infrastructure in AWS, right? And
Okay.
do you understand the difference between mutable and immutable infrastructure?
Yeah.
What's the difference?
Okay. Mutable means that the environment can change over time. So if we have, for example, a CloudFormation template that works for some environment, so we can use that to replicate these environments in any point of time. So that is considered an immutable environment because we have one version of the template that we can replicate over the time, and we are sure that the same template works for every, for example, works for staging, works the same for a UAT environment, and guess I mean I guess that is what you mean.
Yeah. So the next question is like, what are the pros and cons of mutable infrastructure and pros and cons of immutable infrastructure?
Okay. Um the pros of mutable of immutable is that you can replicate the same environments, or yes, the same environments to uh, uh, with the same template. Okay, so you can reproduce an dev environment and QA environment with the same template, and you can be sure that there is no change between those environments. Okay, and the cons would be if, for example, some users make changes externally. For example, we if we deploy a template, for example, an EC2 with some resource with specific resources, and then someone changes that, for example, that would be an issue. So that could be the cons of mutable.
Okay. So if a company asks you which one is right for your project, how will you take that decision?
Okay, in this case, if we consider the infrastructure as code, we can use the immutable approach.
Sorry, I didn't catch that. Sorry.
Uh, uh, if we consider the infrastructure as code and approach, we can use the immutable approach.
Okay. Let me give you a scenario. Okay. If you are making changes to 100 machines, okay,
Okay.
it can take a lot of time. Okay.
Mhm.
And if you use something related to the logs, the database, the cleanup process becomes more hectic, right? So
Okay.
if I'm doing continuous deploying upgrades, which infrastructure is best for me?
I didn't understand the scenario.
Okay,
Sorry.
I'll reiterate. Okay, so there are 100 machines. Okay.
Okay.
And whenever you do some kind of updates or upgrades, it takes a lot of time.
Do
Okay.
you mean upgrades to the
All
to
of the
the virtual
machines.
machine?
All of the
Oh, okay.
machines. Okay.
Okay.
So which kind of infrastructure, mutable or immutable, is suitable for me in this situation?
Okay. In this case, that would be the the mutable configuration.
Will suit.
Yeah.
Okay. My deployment, if I want to make my deployment automatic, which infrastructure supports better, like immutable or mutable?
What kind of deployment? Sorry.
Let's say code deployment.
Okay. A code deployment.
If I do not have to provision deprovision software or hardware.
Okay.
Which one is better for me?
Okay. I guess the mutable approach. Sorry, I didn't. I don't understand that part of your question. So sorry about it.
Okay, no problem. Let's circle back to CloudFormation. So this CloudFormation is running through a pipeline, or just you are creating stacks from code or something? Upload.
No, it is there is a pipeline that is connected with a Jenkins plugin to deploy the resources.
Okay. So where are you putting this pipeline code? Bitbucket?
Yeah, they have in Atlassian suite of products.
Okay. Have you heard about a template file concept running through CloudFormation? Heard about it?
Template, no, that with that name, but maybe if you have some example.
Okay. Let's take another question. So if I want to run some kind of, let's say I have to create 5 VMs, 5 EC2 instance. Okay.
Okay.
And I have to install Java and Nginx by default in those 5 systems. How can I do it using CloudFormation?
Okay. Well,
Is it even possible?
yeah, it's possible. I did that a year ago, I guess.
Okay.
Um, uh, you can you can write the template and use the CFN the CFN helper script, okay, just to install the CloudFormation. No, sorry, just to install the software and all the things that you need.
Okay. Is there a column of user data in while creating CloudFormation scripts templates?
Yeah. But I didn't use that part. I use that part just to install updates. Let me show something here. Okay, that is okay if I show that part, because I did I did this a year ago, I guess.
Okay, you want to share the screen?
Yeah,
Yes.
is it okay?
Please feel free to do that.
Okay.
Where is the share screen
Okay.
here?
Can you see the screen here?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. For example, in this case, say the user the user data is here, for example. Okay, but
One
as
second, one
I
second, one second. Just stop right there. Why I'm using FN base 64 over here?
why sorry.
You have started with FN base 64 over there. Why?
Mm, this line. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Why we are using this? You mean?
Yes. Why do I
Ah,
use this? FN.
yeah. Because the user data in EC2 accepts base 64 inputs only.
Okay. And this exclamation mark SUB. Why do I need this?
because we do some substitutions in the variable. For example, in this case, we can refer this. For example, this is a parameter defined in the parameter section, so we can change this value with the parameter value.
Okay. And if I remove that pipe after that, will it work?
No, it won't work.
Why?
You mean
Yes,
this
yes.
character, right?
This pipe.
Yeah, yeah, it won't work.
Why?
Because this character allows to write a multi-line I don't know how to explain, but it allows to write this multi-line script.
Okay, yeah, please go ahead. I was just asking. Yeah, please go ahead. You were explaining
Yeah,
something.
yeah. Sorry. Uh, we are using I have used this just to make some adjustment to the time to the time zone, and then to update the in this case the Linux repositories, and install in this case Python, for example, and add some users, and there is here a part to install the in this case the CFN Bootstrap tool, and then we have a launch template. Here it is. Then we have a launch template, for example, just to install Java, download the app that is stored in EC3 bucket,
One second,
set
one
up the
second, one second. I'll
yeah.
stop you right there. So in the setup, when you say 01 install Java, 02 download app, so is it just going to print this or making a call to some code?
No, it is just to call in this case this method.
Okay, okay, fair enough, fair enough. Yeah, I think this is good. Okay, you can write shell scripting as well, right?
Yeah. It
Okay,
is
how
shell
good are
scripting.
you in shell scripting on a scale of 1 to 10?
Uh, I guess six,
Okay.
seven.
uh, Please keep sharing your screen, and I'm going to send you a link in the chat, and then I'll ask my question basis on that.
Let me go there.
Yeah, can you start writing on it?
Oh, okay. It's the same.
It's the same
Okay.
without it. Yeah, if you click on run, then it'll print stuff. Yeah.
Okay. Do you need this with some with inputs, or
No,
maybe
no, just starting 6 digits.
six, 6 digits?
Six, yeah, starting 6, 0, 1, 1, 2, 5, 3, 8, and like that.
Okay. In this case, we need like here, and in this case is we do this. Okay. And then for six digits, right?
First starting 6 digits, yes.
Okay. So
Can you click on that option below hide, so it will hide that below? Click on hide.
Do you mean? Okay.
Yeah, now it's better.
Okay. Okay. So if it's one or two. Okay. So here will be. Okay, let me put this here. In this case, is this. Okay. Okay, let me do this. Result would be. This. Okay, if it is 1, 2. Okay, in this case, if n is under 2, okay, n would be 0. So there is a. Okay. No, sorry. Okay, one. 'If it is 3, for example, we need to. Okay. Okay. 3, 4, 5. Sorry, I'm not thinking well at this time. but
Okay, no problem.
but
No problem.
yeah, but I can explain you the source code in the below task here, for example.
No.
The first link that you give.
Okay, explain.
Okay, in this case, if we have the number of terms here, let me analyze this first. Okay,
Okay, 0, 1. Okay. Print anyone. Okay. Okay. Here we have an input, okay, of called n terms. Okay. If we if our input is for example 0, then the program will return 0 in this case. Okay. No, so sorry. If it is for example -1, -2, there will print this message in the console. And if the number of terms is equal to 1, then will print this value. In this case, that is corresponding to n1, that is 0 in this case for one term.
Okay. Okay. Why I'm taking n1 and n2 as 0 and 1?
Just to, in this case, to do the addition between n2 and sorry, just to make the addition, because these are the first terms of the Fibonacci sequence.
Okay. And what is happening at the line in last else, in which while count less than n terms? What is happening over here?
In this case here, okay, well, we have here a loop, because if the count is less than n terms, this will loop. In this case, the nth is adding the n2 and the n1 and the n2 values, and then the values are changing, and there is a count variable that is this is called an in Java. You can do this as a plus plus. I mean, okay, this is the same here, but if the count is less than the n terms, this loop will continue run until the correct value is get.
Okay. Yeah, I think I'm done.